Don't feed into worldly desires, man. We currently live in a world that, tempts us and, wants us to live for the world and, do things that, don't bring us true joy. Those temporary pleasures that we want to chase after, those temporary pleasures that we want to, do, they don't bring us true joy. They don't bring us true happiness. So don't chase those worldly desires. That could be chasing money, fame, success, sexual pleasures, anything like that, lust, stuff like that. We can't chase those things, bro. You gotta chase the man upstairs. You gotta chase God. You gotta chase a relationship with God. Not chase the worldly desires and the worldly temptations. True joy and true happiness don't come from those things, man. True joy, true happiness doesn't come from money. Money can't buy happiness. Money can't buy joy. You know what I'm saying? True happiness comes from the man upstairs. Because when that thing leaves you, when that, temptation leaves you, then what are you left with? You know what I'm saying? What, is behind that and, what is going to keep you happy? What is going to keep you joyful? You know what I'm saying? When those temporary things leave, there's nothing else. If you don't have a relationship with God, if you're not right with God, you know what I'm saying? Then those temporary pleasures, those worldly desires do nothing for you. Materialism is probably the biggest one, being materialistic. And, I struggle with this sometimes. I'm not perfect. I struggle with all these things I'm about to talk about, you know what I'm saying? But materialism is probably one of the biggest ones we struggle with as humans, in this world. We're always chasing after the money, the clothes, the cars, shoes, whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying? We're chasing after those materialistic things. And, sometimes it makes us lose sight of, what actually comes from God, because everything comes from God. Everything comes from the man upstairs. Everything is a blessing. Everything we receive is a blessing, and sometimes chasing after those things just makes us lose sight that, everything is a blessing. We got to be grateful for these things. We got to, express gratitude for these things and toward these things, and we just can't chase after it. You know what I'm saying? God will bless us with these things when the time is right. God will bless us with these things, when he knows that we're ready for them. You know what I'm saying? So we can't chase after them. We can't, live a materialistic life. Everything we have is a blessing straight from the man upstairs. You know what I'm saying? So we can't get caught up in the materialistic things of this world. In 1 Timothy 6:10, it says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." You know what I'm saying? The love and the drive and, the want for money is the root of all evil. You know what I'm saying? You can't put that before God. You can't put these materialistic things and, this money, these cars, these clothes. You can't put these things before God. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're feeding into that evil. You're feeding into the root of evil. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you keep God first. Make sure, God is your top priority. And, let him bless you with the things of material. Let him bless you with the materialistic things and, don't chase after them. Another big one is we want to experience pleasure. Pleasure that feeds our flesh. We want to experience that. And, the biggest example that comes to mind is lust. I struggle with this still. Like, I'm not perfect, like I said. I know a lot of people out there that struggle with this. You know what I'm saying? But that's nothing but a temporary pleasure. That's nothing but a temporary thing for our flesh. That has nothing to do with, the rest of our life. You know what I'm saying? We're just doing this for temporary pleasure. And I got a big video coming out on this soon. So, stay tuned for that one. But like I said, that's nothing but a temporary pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Because after that, what do you have? When you know what I'm saying? Like, what's after that? What do you have after that? You know what I'm saying? After that, you have nothing. Like, you temporary pleased. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But, after that, there's nothing behind it. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to knock anybody with what I'm about to say, but, there's a lot of people out there that'll pick up a blunt or, pick up nicotine before they pick up the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Getting high or, getting that buzz is nothing but a temporary feeling. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do. That's not a permanent fix. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing but a temporary feeling because at one point that's going to wear off. And when that wears off, what do you have? You know what I'm saying? What is there that you can be joyful about, that you can be happy about when that wears off? You know what I'm saying? That does not take away all your problems. It might take away them for a moment. It might, make them feel at ease for a moment, for a temporary period of time. But when that wears off, like, those problems are still going to be there. Those problems are going to eat you up and they're still going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Smoking a blunt or getting high, lusting, all that stuff, that's only a temporary fix. There's only one permanent fix, and that's the man upstairs. You know what I'm saying? So don't feed into these temporary fixes or, think that these temporary fixes are going to fix everything in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not. In Galatians 5:18, it says, "Walk by the Spirit and you will not glorify the desires of your flesh." You know what I'm saying? Walk by the Spirit, turn to God, talk to him, pray to him, build a relationship with him. And, you will not experience these desires. You will not, experience these temptations of the flesh. And, when them temptations do come, when them desires do come, you know how to turn away from them. You know how to turn to God in those moments. He will bring a permanent fix. He will bring a permanent, healing to you. You know what I'm saying? He'll bring a permanent fix that no girl or no blunt, no nicotine can bring. You know what I'm saying? God is the only one that can bring a permanent fix. We also love to, experience or seek the validation from others. We always love to seek the, okay and the yes from others. We like to seek the approval from others. That's a very dangerous trap that we tend to fall into, because at the end of the day, bro, like when it's all said and done, that person you're seeking a validation from, that person you're seeking approval from, does not matter at the end of the day. Like when it's all said and done, when you pass away, stuff like that, like that person you seek approval from does not matter. You know what I'm saying? The only approval that matters when it's all said and done is God's approval. You know what I'm saying? That's the only one that matters. So why do you spend so much time, seeking others' approval, seeking, the okay and the yes from others? You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what they think. Don't worry about their opinion on you, stuff like that. I've said that a lot before. You know what I'm saying? Just don't seek their approval. Seek God approval. Live for God. Go out there and do the things that God is telling you to do. You know what I'm saying? And don't worry about what others think. Don't worry about if others approve of it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they don't matter. What they think of you does not matter at all. In Galatians 1:10, it says, if I was still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to please anybody on this earth. Don't care about what anybody thinks. Just do whatever it is you want to do. Seek God. Seek God's approval. You know what I'm saying? Don't seek any human's approval, because they don't matter. Like I said, all these things I'm talking about are temporary. You know what I'm saying? But God is forever. Don't chase, don't live your life chasing things that are temporary when there's something that you can chase that is permanent. You know what I'm saying? God is permanent. God is forever. Chase after God. Don't chase after these worldly desires that are only going to bring you temporary satisfaction, temporary pleasure. At the end of the day, these things don't lead to anything but spiritual emptiness. There's no amount of money in this world. There's no amount of success in this world. There's no amount of, pleasure in this world that will fix the voids that may develop in your heart. You know what I'm saying? There's only one answer to those things, and that's the man upstairs, bro. Like no amount of money, success, fame, pleasure, girls, anything like that is going to fill that void you have in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Those are only temporary things. That void in your heart is still going to be there after you, go get with this girl or this girl, after you, reach this amount of money. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to have that void in your heart. You know what I'm saying? I know millionaires out there that aren't happy, aren't joyful. You know what I'm saying? They can have all the money in the world and they're still not happy. You know what I'm saying? That only brings temporary happiness. That only brings temporary joy. And these things also tend to distract us from our purpose. Distract us from the purpose that God has brought us on this earth to do. We weren't created to, be here and chase after the things of the world. You know what I'm saying? Those things were created to throw us off. Those things were created to tempt us and, make us do the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Those things were created to try and get us to fail. When we chase after them, that's just bringing us further and further from our purpose. That's the only thing that it's doing. But there are ways you can overcome this. There are ways you can overcome the temptations and the desires of the world. The main thing and the first thing you got to do is, you got to start building that relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? You got to start talking to him, building that relationship with him. And, like I've said before, building a relationship with God is probably the best thing, the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. But, working on my relationship with God and building my relationship with God, it's helping me grow to be the best version of myself. Instead of putting this time and energy that you're putting in, chasing these materialistic things or chasing after the desires of the world, you know what I'm saying? You can use that time and energy and build a relationship with God. Start building that relationship with God, start talking to him, start getting in the word, start praying, stuff like that. And, work on developing a heart of gratitude. Be thankful for the things you've been blessed with. Be thankful for the things that God has brought into your life. Don't lose sight that everything you have in your life is a blessing straight from the man upstairs. Be thankful for these things, be grateful for these things. Because these things could be gone in a heartbeat. These things could be gone in the blink of an eye. You know what I'm saying? So be grateful for what you have. And, don't try to chase after things you don't have. Pray for those things and let God bring them to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't chase your dreams, stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't chase after the desires of the world. You know what I'm saying? Pray for them. And when the time is right, God's going to bless you with them. But in due time, bro, like for the time being, you know what I'm saying? You got to be grateful and be thankful for the things that you already have. Be grateful for, having a roof over your head. Be grateful for being able to eat food. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful for being able to have clothes on you. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here that don't have that. There's a lot of people out here that don't even have shoes. You know what I'm saying? So be grateful for what you have. Be thankful for what you have. And, the more time you spend with God, man, honestly, the less tempting and, desirable these things become. Get in the word daily, start talking to him daily, start praying daily. You know what I'm saying? The easier it is to, get over these temptations, the easier it is to, not have these desires. So just spend time with him, bro. And I promise you, you're going to see what he can do in your life. Watch what God can do in your life when you just spend time with him. You build a relationship with him. you live for him. You know what I'm saying? You stop chasing the desires of the world. Watch what he would do in your life. And most importantly, man, you got to pray. You know what I'm saying? Like I've said before, prayer works. Prayer may not work when you think it's going to work or when you want it to work, but when the time is right, prayer is going to work. God is going to make what you want work. God is going to make what you want, come into your life when the time is right, during his plan. So don't think that it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? It's not up to you. It's up to God. Pray for these things, have faith in them, worship him. And the things you pray for is going to come out to be true. You know what I'm saying? Spend time with him, live for him, get in the word. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, prayer works. Pray to him, spend time with him, talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him about anything. Give him all your worries, give him all your anxieties, whatever you're feeling in your heart, whatever you're feeling in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Just talk to him about all of it. You know what I'm saying? Prayer works. I'm just going to talk about me for a little bit. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I struggle with all of these things, daily. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be because like I'm starting to build my relationship with God, I'm starting to get into the word more. I'm starting to, pray more, talk to him more, stuff like that. But like I said, I'm not perfect. Like I struggle with these things. Like I don't want to seem like I've got it all figured out because I don't. Like I'm human too. Like I'm the same as y'all watching this video right now. You know what I'm saying? I struggle with these things. But we're in this together. You know what I'm saying? We can overcome these temptations. We can overcome these desires together. You know what I'm saying? So let's do that. Let's get in the word. Let's build our relationships with God stronger and stronger every day. Let's read more of the Bible. Let's get in the word more. Let's pray more. You know what I'm saying? Let's flee from these desires. Let's flee from these temptations and live for God. No matter how tempting the world may get, no matter how much it seems like the world may have to offer, you know what I'm saying? God offers more. God has more in store for us than what the world has. God has something way greater, way more powerful, anything like that, greater, way greater than the world could ever have. You know what I'm saying? God has that. So get right with him, build our relationship with him, go talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Get in the word. You know what I'm saying? And watch what God can do in your life. Watch him, take them temptations away from you. Watch him take them desires away from you. You know what I'm saying? Go build a relationship with him. But that'll be all for this video, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in today. If you like the video, go hit that sub button. Go hit that like button. We're on the road to 100 subs, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.